All right, all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome. Much gratitude for tuning in. Got some powerful knowledge for everyone today. All right. So, my name is Dayron Shavers, and I am the owner and founder of Anniversary Now Enterprises. All right. So, what we're doing is we're talking about a very important and powerful web conference that we have coming up March 22nd, 2024. All right. Now, it's going to be a lot of knowledge that's dropped on this day for this conference. I'm telling you, things that are going to help you to elevate right to where you want to go, whether that's starting a business, other endeavors that you have, right? We're going to teach you ways to scale your content business, right? And give you the ways of focus, execution for the steps to get there, as well as the monetization strategies to accomplish what you want to accomplish. All right. So be sure to tune in. All right. Again, March 22nd, 2024 at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the description. It is reformationleadership.com. Again, reformationleadership.com. All right. So we're going to start off with the topic of focus, right? So when we think of focus, what comes to mind when you think of focus? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it.
Think of focus.
So when we think of focus, right? Think of it as a type of mental money, right? It's a type of mental money, right? So what are you spending mental money on a daily basis, right? So we have two types. We have short-term focus and we have long-term focus, right? Something to think about. Now, when we talk about short-term focus, this is if you're in the general workplace, right? You have to focus on the task that you're performing, right? To accomplish the goal of completing your task so everyone's able to leave work on time, right? This is a situation I was in, right? Working in the workforce. All right. Now we turn it over to the school, right? The arena of the schools, whether that's college, whether this is grade school, you have to spend time, you have to focus, right, on your studies, on your homework, right? You have to study in class when you're doing your tests and your quizzes, right? This is short-term focus, all right? And even as an entrepreneur, you have to focus on accomplishing your tasks, right? Whether that's your marketing, right? Sending emails, right? And many, many more strategies that will be talked about in the virtual conference. All right. So these are the situations we're talking about short-term focus, right? We're talking maybe, from a few minutes to an hour, right? Something like that, where it's a specific time span that you put your mental currency of focus in. All right. So then we talk about long-term focus. So when we talk about long-term focus, this is where we talk about our goals, right? We set goals, whether that's a daily goal, a weekly goal, a monthly, yearly, right? 2, 3 year plan, 10-year plan. These are your long-term goals, right? And when we talk about focus in this regards, to get to these goals, we have steps in between, right? And those steps to get to one part to the next requires that focus, right? To continuously propel you forward towards your long-term goal, right? So you could say your long-term goal requires your short-term focus in increments, right? So that's something to think about, right? When we're setting a goal, well, you know what, in 6 months, I want to be, have this for my type of business. I want to be uh, this type of person. I want to transform my mind state, right? So now we're talking about setting a goal for that specific amount of time, right? Because is that going to happen overnight? No, probably not, right? However, when you start to put into place those short-term goals, right, and you start becoming consistent, right, and disciplined with what you're doing, then over time you get closer and closer to accomplishing that long-term goal, right? So this is what we talk about when we're talking about focus and spending our mental currency on things, right? Because we can easily spend our time in our mental currency of focus on distractions as well, right? And the thing is, when we focus on distractions, time usually flies, right? Time usually flies, right? So, how many times, and I've done this in the past, right? You start focusing on distraction, whether this is just scrolling on social media, this is, you're supposed to do homework or something, and you watch, a show on Netflix, and next thing you know, you're watching the show after, right? You go into a marathon, you look up, hours has went past, right? You forgot you had an assignment due, right? This is putting focus on distractions, and time flies by, right? However, in the past, in those situations, had I to put my focus on that homework assignment, then it could have been a different outcome. All right. So these are situations where we learn from the mistakes, right? And we start to build that discipline, right? We build discipline through mistakes. All right. And lessons learned. So after those lessons were learned, it became easier and easier to start placing these short-term focus goals in, which has helped me get more closer to the long-term goal. Right. So this is just a tad bit, right, of how I'm going to talk about focus Friday, March 22nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is just one section, right? And then for the rest, we're going to have the Grand Master, Mr. Darcy Oganica, CEO of Trillionaire Media, to teach us the rest.
I'm telling you, man, it was so powerful. Darren, what you're saying is just like what I like is the way you really break down the importance of focus. And the more I talk to entrepreneurs, and people always asking for, new strategies. That's like, you're asking for new strategies. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about what about getting enough focus and discipline? Because I believe that what's happening is that most people they want to go to the next level, but they cannot really get it because of the way they thinking about strategy. People think that they need a new way to do something. But what I realize is that most people is not really a knowledge problem. Most of the time is the expression to what they know. And to be able to learn how to package it and have the system to sell it. But sometimes I can give you all the strategy in the world. There's so many powerful podcasts, available all around the world, and make sure that you get my podcast and, Darren podcast, is available in all platforms. But I really want you to get it and to understand that you can really go to the next level if you understand focus, execution, and discipline. Whenever I give people monetization tactic, I see them doing things, but they kind of stuck because like they're getting overwhelmed. They're not getting overwhelmed because I give them too much information. They get overwhelmed because like they can see that what they need to do, but because they never develop their emotional intelligence to the point where they can say, you know what, I'm going to start that tomorrow. Because we cannot do it. So therefore it's like, I'm not you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand what he's saying. I know I need to do what he's saying, but I don't think it's for me though. So now all the excuse is coming. I don't think it's for me though. I think that I don't think I need to do all of that. I don't think I need to put myself in French, Spanish, Arabic, Mandarin. No, man, I'm focused on my zip code. You know what I'm saying? Like, what he's talking about, I want to do it for the people that went to high school, college, my co-workers. But again, what you do not understand is that your audience, your tribe, are not necessarily the people that you already know. Let me say that because I believe that sometimes, and even now, what I'm teaching there and what we're doing this, I love building this because I'm showing how to do it from scratch. And you realize that organic traffic gets you just so far. You need paid traffic to have a result. Organic traffic is like an illusion of, if you post long enough and you have good content, you will have these raving fans from all around the world who will buy everything that you drop. Now, it was true until probably 2018. After that, it was too much traffic on social media for social media to open your audience to qualified leads. They are just opening your audience to, a few people who are going to react. Actually, the last time I was looking at the stats, they said that the only way for a post to survive more than, a few minutes on social media, they need to receive 3 to 5 reactions in the following 30 minutes when you post something. So when you post something in the first 30 minutes, if there's not 3 to 5 likes or 3 comments or 2 shares, something like that, the algorithm will push your content down automatically, regardless of if your content is good or not. This is why it's so crucial the time you go live, the time you post, because it's gonna, affect the reaction of your potential audience when you post something. Okay, so I always say, like, prosperity is in the details, and most people, we don't really get it. They think, like, what, man, I have all the time of the world, man. You know what I'm saying? I have all the times, in the world. I can, post whenever my content is good. I used to have, A plus in my English all the time. So when I post something, my sophisticated English, I will get. No, it's not about being sophisticated. It's about for you to be able to touch a nerve, remove a pain, bring a solution. So you let your content do the marketing for you. But after your organic strategy, that when you have a lot of movement on social media at a certain time, you need to have a call to action. But on top of that, you need to have a paid ad to go at the same time that you want to promote something. And forget that idea that social media is free. Social media is not free. Social media is not free. I post something today, again, about the misconception of some of the stuff that you should know, but nobody really take the time to explain to it. A podcast is not a YouTube video. A podcast is not a YouTube video. And that term podcast being thrown around, and I will really break it down on that virtual workshop. I will talk about 3 elements, 3 content strategy were so powerful who can change your life. Is a podcast monetization strategy, is a book monetization strategy, and then is an online course monetization strategy. Those 3 elements, a book, a podcast, and an online course, can bring you from 0 to 6 figures in less than a year if you know what to do. Listen to what I said. I didn't say in less than a month. I didn't say next week. I didn't say tomorrow. I even said that in the next 3 months. I said within the year, because it's a process. Now, can you make 6 figures in 1 month if you launch something? Yes, you can. But I don't want to sell to you an illusion. I want to sell to you, not even sell, I want to present to you an opportunity. You know what is the difference between an opportunity, and something was guaranteed? There's nothing absolute. And I hate when marketers saying like, man, it's guaranteed, man. Because I made a million, I will show you how to make a million. No, it's not working like that. Everything is based on personal result. Everything I'm going to teach you is an opportunity that you might have if you do it. Might is a powerful word. So when you think like that, now you know it depends on your effort, and therefore not only your effort but also the way you will execute that strategy and have the ability to customize what I'm talking about. For example, I am who I am. So even if I teach you certain things, like it's easier for me to go global as somebody who never been around the world. I was born in Paris, France. I lived in Gabon for more than 10 years. I lived, one time I was in Ivory Coast. So I move around the world. So when I'm talking about the global thing, it's not just from a textbook perspective, it's from somebody who used to live overseas and used to see America from afar, and what I used to desire from America, and what people outside the United States, what they gravitate when it comes to business and needs. So I'm not just, it's not a freestyle. It's not like something I Google and then I come repeat to you. This is some experience knowledge. This is what we call in English, I love that, tested knowledge with ED at the end. Tested knowledge is so powerful because it's been tested. So when I say, hey, you need to do this from that time and it's gonna be a movement. Again, not absolute, but a movement. In your mind right now, say, okay, I don't understand. It seems like he's not confident in what he's saying. He says it's not absolute. No. What I want to do, I want to remove responsibility of your result in your camp, not in mine. That's what I'm doing now. And you have to understand, it's not like I'm not here selling something to you. I'm here to bringing you an opportunity to solve an audience problem, because that you see in yourself too small. I want you to think global and to let you know that you can monetize your content globally. So for me to do that, I have to transfer responsibility. And the responsibility is better, is 10 times more powerful and effective than motivation. Let me repeat that. Responsibility is 10 times more powerful than motivation. Motivation, it means that can take you but so far, because everything needs to motivate an individual, unfortunately, is coming from the outside. But you know that when we call about circumstances, is that when you're inside the circle and everything will stand against you, this is the definition of circumstances. Okay? So anything can happen around yourself. You can, get tired, weather, something happen. So it might change and affect the way you're going to react if you only depend on your circumstances. In the circle you stand in, and if you just look at what's going on, you're not going to be able to be focused enough to execute what you're supposed to do. But when you have a responsibility, the responsibility doesn't look at what's going on around. This is something that you have to do regardless. Now it's your responsibility for you to find your audience and to invest in yourself, to come to the conference, take notes, and run with it. You see, it's different. I'm not going to call you the next day. Hey man, I know you were at my workshop. Did you do? No, because what you're paying is for information. If you want me and you to be accountable, you have to come to my circle when people paid and watch me every Thursday for the rest of the year. Now it's a different type of relationship. Okay? But now I want you to look at this video and say, you know what? I'm tired of, I don't know what's going on in my podcast. I don't even know where to start my podcast. I have a book, but I don't know how to sell my book. I might create a course, but I don't know how it works. You have to come to the conference. Because what this conference is going to do for you, is going to prepare your mindset. You know, people talk about mindset. Mindset is not something, you know, in the air somewhere where, oh, it's in the mind, like, let me change my mind. The way you create muscle in your brain is by start learning how to be focused, number one. Number two is when you have the clarity. The clarity and the focus will give the muscle brain that you need to be able to become stronger emotionally. So the emotion gonna push you to do something that you don't necessarily like, because now you have clarity, you can see where you're going. So when you see where you're going, you have another type of emotional strength will help you keep going. When you keep going, because you can see, most people, they get tired. You know why? They cannot see the finish line. That's why you cannot be disciplined if there's no clarity. The discipline is what keeps you going even when you're tired. I don't know about you. I used to be in the French army, and we used to do those 10 miles run every Tuesday, twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday morning. I'm telling you, the first 3 miles, you want to stop. By miles number 4 or 5, you get a rhythm. By miles 6 or 7, all you hear is your boots on the ground. Zoom, 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 zoom. At this time, man, that's it. At this time, like, there's a switch happen in you that, man, you know what? I'm a soldier. You know, you're running. You're running, you're sweating, you spit every saliva that you have, but at this moment, you're locked in. Mile 7. Boom, 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 boom. And before you know it, mile 10, you're good. And after that, you have to drop. You have to do like 4 series of 25 push-ups. Right after, they let you breathe like maybe 1 minute. Right after those 10 miles, you have to drop all your equipment, a bag, the stuff, you know, and you drop on the ground 25 and some slow 25. 1, 2, no, you know, like people that do 25. Like, no. You have to feel it. 1, everybody. 2, and when we're doing that, you hear like, boom, somebody drop. 4, 5, 6, boom, somebody else drop. 8, 9, 10. And then if the guy will train you, wanna mess with your mind, you know what he's gonna do? When he gets to 24, he said 24. 24 for me. 24 for yourself. 24 for somebody at home. 24 for your country. 24 for whoever. 24 because it's Tuesday. So it makes you do more on purpose to mess with your mind. Can you go above? So now, even if I'm not in the army no more, what I'm doing is that when I'm doing business, I know I need to do something. I look at my time. I say, man, it's 9:30. And I shift. I'm going to work until 1 o'clock to finish what I have to do. See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. This is the difference between people who want to be something and people who are willing to do it. And that is not taught in school. You catch it to accept your responsibility. You say, I'm going to do it, or you don't. But there's something that I want you to learn. You're always going to feel better about yourself by trying to do something in the best of your ability. Decide to wander in your mind. What would happen if I try it? And I'm telling you, the worst disease in the human history is not cancer, is not AIDS, is not any type of, things that people can think about. The number one disease will hit you alive is regret. I don't want you to be into the regret mind, like, man, what if, maybe if I try it, maybe if I did it 10 years ago, maybe if I did it 5 years ago. The good thing about life and the gift of life that God gave us is that is always another opportunity. So the question I'm asking you today is that what you're going to do. You see, I made my mind up a long time ago that the way I will advertise my business, my content, and my offer is without any emotional manipulation. What I mean by that, I got so many footage of me around the world in the nice places, but I don't want you to be attracted by my lifestyle. I want you to be attracted by the power of the content and the strategy I will give you.
Mm.
It means that if you start to measure yourself up with me, like at one time I was saying more. I believe it was, I don't know, 2018, between 2017 and 18. I believe I went to Paris 6 times in less than a year. So at one time I was traveling so much I got tired. It's one thing to travel from here, from Atlanta to New York, then go to Chicago. But I'm telling you, when you cross the sea 12 times in 1 year, it does something to you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm traveling too much. But for somebody else, it will be a flex. But flex is good, but I don't want to attract groupies. I was a celebrity when I was a teenager. Get my book. I did stuff that most people will never do in a lifetime between 14 and 18 years old. I don't want groupies. I'm not an entertainer. I'm here to teach you how you can use the content and what you already know and be free from your job. That's what I want to give you as an opportunity, to get paid for what you know and live with a freedom. I don't want you to become a slave of your business, be working all the time, be on a plane every day. No, I want you to enjoy life and get paid for what you already know. Listen to what I'm saying. To get paid for something you already know, to get paid for your God-given gift that is already on the inside of you. You get paid for your natural ability. You get paid for the gift for what you know, to how you make people feel, how you resolve issues. Something you never learned that from school. It's been in you since you were a little boy, a little girl. It always been in you. And when you can do that, you can really start saying that, you know what? I'm full of joy.
Mm.
And there's a difference between happy and joy. Maybe you don't know the difference, but there's a scripture in the Bible we're saying that the joy of the Lord, so it means it's not yours. Whenever you try to contain joy or say that joy is yours, it means that you depend only on you to be in a certain space spiritually, emotionally.
Mm.
But when you start serving somebody else, when you start investing your time into transforming somebody else's life, you're just transforming your number one asset in the universe is a human soul. So the one who created the universe, God himself, got to bless you because you're taking care of this most precious asset, a soul of a human body. And when you help another human being with the gift that God gave you, and you said, you know what, God, I will help somebody to become a better human being, to make sure that his soul is protected and he can enjoy himself. At this time, you will never complain about not being happy because it's not your problem no more. Because as much as you do something for somebody else, God will give you the joy.
Mm.
And this is what I'm doing. There's no notes, there's no note, there's no script. I didn't know that we say all that. But I want you to really looking at yourself in the mirror tonight and say that Coach Darcy is talking about me. I need to come to this conference. It's only $47. But I want to be exposed to that. I want to be exposed to what Darren is going to say about focus and execution. We talk about somebody who's been doing martial arts for a long time. You have to understand what's going on, especially for a young man who's practicing martial arts. If you practice that from a young man, it means that as a young man, they teach you how to control your emotion and how to use power. Somebody who's doing martial arts is somebody that most of the time is somebody that size, they win the fight unless somebody tries to sucker punch them. But for you to know that you have this power and smile and be kind, this is the real power. The real power is somebody who don't need to use it to go across in life. That's real power. So when you can understand that, that's the same way with a gift of teaching or gift of talking. You can use your gift to become a womanizer, having 25 girlfriends every month. Or you can use it to teach people, okay, and make them better. It's a gift. So the gift, you can use it however you want to use it. But it takes discipline and focus to do that. So you see, I bring everything full circle. So it means that you can have a strategy and be about your money, be about your business, do whatever you have to do. But because you don't have a focus, a clarity, and the discipline, when you get the money or the way you're about to get business with lack of integrity and all this kind of stuff, eventually, all this good knowledge and stuff that you're doing, eventually that thing will destroy you.
Mm.
This is why, besides to having to call it, I could just call it a monetization, workshop. Come and how to monetize and stuff. But I said, no. Let me make it, in a different way. I'm let you know right now, people be knowing me online. Do not think that if you don't come to the event that you will get it for the same price. I'll let you know right now. By Saturday, but same content will be for sale for $197. So 47, 197. I mean, you have to choose what you want to do. So that's the only thing I want to share with you guys tonight. We've been speaking for 32 minutes. And then if you can, close, man. I'm out.
Yes, sir. I mean that's folks, if you was taking notes, you just got a class right there. And the fact is, like, that's a taste of what's coming Friday, March 22nd, right? So with this knowledge of mine that you gained today, imagine that Friday, right? Now I'm telling you, the knowledge that you're gonna gain is gonna change your life, right? And when you apply the knowledge that you gain, it's gonna change your life, right? And I mean, as Coach said, it's you build the clarity and you build the discipline to back it up. It's gonna move along. So with this in mind, after everything you heard today, you put in the focus in watching this video in this live session, right? That's a test in itself. That'll tell you how your focus is, right? And now when we talk about execution, you have the link, take the step, click the link, register for your virtual ticket, and we'll see you Friday to learn the monetization strategies with it. All right. So with this in mind, I'm grateful for everyone that tuned in. I'm grateful for Coach Darcy. I appreciate you. And we'll see everyone Friday. Peace.
That's it.